The serene landscape of Kashmir has once again become a battleground, a place where the echoes of conflict drown out the whispers of peace. The region is gripped by fear and uncertainty as the specter of violence looms large over its inhabitants. On April 22, 2025, a horrific massacre in the town of Baisaran Pahalgam shattered the fragile peace that had been painstakingly maintained. Gunmen opened fire on a group of Indian tourists, killing 26 innocent people and leaving many others injured. The attack was brutal and swift, leaving the community in shock and mourning. India was quick to blame Pakistan for the attack, accusing them of harboring and supporting terrorist groups that operate in the region. The Indian government held a series of press conferences, condemning the violence and vowing to take decisive action. Pakistan vehemently denied any involvement, with officials holding their own press conferences to refute the accusations. They insisted that they had no hand in the violence, but the damage to diplomatic relations was already done. In a move that sent shockwaves through the region, India launched airstrikes inside Pakistani territory on May 7, 2025. The airstrikes targeted what India claimed were terrorist training camps. The strikes resulted in the deaths of at least 8 people and ignited a firestorm of diplomatic and military escalation. The situation remains tense, with both nations on high alert and the world watching closely, hoping for a peaceful resolution. The situation on the ground is extremely tense. Both India and Pakistan have placed their militaries on high alert, and the line of control, the de facto border dividing Kashmir, has become a flashpoint for daily exchanges of fire. India has evacuated its citizens from areas near the border. Pakistan has responded in kind, urging its citizens to seek shelter. Fear and uncertainty grip the region as the specter of a wider conflict looms large. The diplomatic fallout from the Kashmir massacre and subsequent airstrikes has been swift and severe. India expelled Pakistani diplomats, accusing them of espionage and inciting violence. Pakistan retaliated in kind, expelling Indian diplomats and recalling its ambassador from New Delhi. Airspace restrictions have further isolated both nations. India closed its airspace to Pakistani airlines, while Pakistan responded by suspending all flights to India. These measures have disrupted travel and trade, deepening the divide between the two nuclear-armed neighbors. The international community has expressed deep concern over the escalating tensions between India and Pakistan. The situation in Kashmir has drawn significant attention from global leaders and international organizations who are worried about the potential for a larger conflict. The United States, along with other global powers, has called for restraint and urged both sides to engage in dialogue. Diplomatic efforts are being made to de-escalate the situation, with various countries offering to mediate between the two nuclear-armed neighbors. However, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's vocal support for India has complicated the situation. His statements have been perceived as biased, leading to further diplomatic strain and making it harder to find a neutral ground for negotiations. Pakistan, feeling increasingly isolated, has reached out to its allies, including China, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. These countries have shown varying degrees of support, with China being particularly vocal in its backing of Pakistan's stance, and the United Arab Emirates, seeking diplomatic support. The involvement of these nations highlights the geopolitical stakes and the broader regional implications of the Kashmir conflict. The involvement of these regional players adds another layer of complexity to an already volatile situation. As the crisis continues, the international community remains watchful, hoping for a peaceful resolution that will bring stability to the region. The roots of the Kashmir conflict run deep, dating back to the partition of British India in 1947. This monumental event led to the creation of two separate nations, India and Pakistan, and set the stage for decades of tension and conflict. The former princely state, with its predominantly Muslim population but ruled by a Hindu Maharaja, became a point of contention. The Maharaja's decision to accede to India was met with resistance from Pakistan and the local populace, leading to widespread unrest. Both India and Pakistan claimed Kashmir, leading to the first of two wars fought over the disputed territory. The conflict saw significant military engagements and left a lasting impact on the region's political landscape. The Second War in 1965 further solidified the divide. This conflict intensified the rivalry and deepened the mistrust between the two nations, making the prospect of peace even more elusive. In 1999, the Kargil War brought the two nations perilously close to a nuclear confrontation. The high-altitude conflict underscored the volatility of the region and the ever-present danger of escalation. The unresolved status of Kashmir continues to cast a long shadow over relations between India and Pakistan. The region remains a flashpoint, with frequent skirmishes and a heavy military presence, reflecting the ongoing struggle for control and the quest for a lasting solution.